Aaron.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron is here. Welcome back, everybody, for more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. Okay, just a really quick update before I run out of here to go to our weekly protest in downtown Clearwater. I don't like doing updates in the Scientology lawsuits when it's kind of bad news for the plaintiff's side. But, you know, this is where we are in this particular lawsuit. There's about 5 currently outstanding lawsuits against David Miscavige and the Church of Scientology. One of the ones that is one of the 2 that are currently moving along very, very nicely is the lawsuit brought by a number of Danny Masterson's victims against David Miscavige, Danny Masterson, and the Church of Scientology for the harassment that Danny's victims have been subjected to since coming forward to the police. And this lawsuit is still moving along very nicely. It's just that their representation, the Boies Schiller law firm, made a massive unforced error, and Scientology's just running with it, and they're not going to let this thing go. So basically, Scientology had, just to catch you up to where we are here, Scientology had filed an anti-SLAPP motion against this lawsuit. Basically arguing that it is Scientology's protected religious activity to be able to harass these women and these victims and their family members the way that they did. The judge in the suit found against Scientology very, very strongly as well. Scientology filed an appeal to that decision. The Boies Schiller firm representing the plaintiffs, representing Danny Masterson's victims, they filed a response to the appeal. And unfortunately, that response included a bunch of citations to case law that were fictional because it was done by AI. Now, technically, the Boies Schiller firm didn't even really need to file a response. Nothing really hinged on it. The judge's decision against Scientology for their anti-SLAPP motion was so thorough and so strong that the Boies Schiller firm could have filed no response, and everything arguably would have probably been fine. That being said, it was normal for them to file a response. It's just one of the reasons why it was an unforced error, because they could have filed nothing and everything would have been fine. They file a response. It includes a bunch of false citations because of AI. Scientology is like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. So Scientology is moving for sanctions. They're moving for the firm to be disqualified. They're moving for all sorts of stuff. And I just wanted to give you the update because they did finally file asking for the sanctions. Here's just a few excerpts of what was filed. Respondent's brief. A famous story teaches that a man may not murder his own parents and then plead for mercy from the court on the grounds that he is an orphan. So too with Boies Schiller. Boies Schiller argues that it is entitled to file a replacement brief because the filed response brief does not support each point by citation to appropriate authority and therefore does not comply with the California rules of the court. But the respondent's brief violates the rules of the court only because Boies Schiller abdicated its ethical responsibility to read and review multiple cases before citing them. Boies Schiller's violation of the rules is not a valid basis for a do-over, especially after seeing the appellant's reply brief. Quite the opposite. Its behavior is deserving of serious sanction. Okay. So, yeah, just a few more excerpts from this, and, you know, this is not going to be a long video. Moving forward. Here, Mr. Kucera appropriately admits that Boies Schiller did use AI to prepare the respondent's brief and did not check every citation as required. The admission only after being caught does not obviate the need for sanctions or permit Boies Schiller to skate by with a new brief, nor does Mr. Kucera's declaration specify which parts of the respondent's brief were drafted by AI, nor what AI tools were used. You know, Scientology's attorneys are requesting that the court basically completely throw out Boies Schiller's response to their appeal. And the truth is, even if the court does that, it doesn't actually, in my opinion, it will not actually affect the outcome of what is currently before the court, which is Scientology's appeal to the judges ruling against them in their anti-SLAPP motion being thrown out. I fully personally believe that Scientology's appeal here is going to be thrown out no matter how much of a big deal they want to make out of the error by Boy Schiller, no matter what. Do I think Boy Schiller is going to be disqualified? No. Do I think they're going to be hit with sanctions? Of course. Do I think John Kucera, partner of Boy Schiller, will most likely end up stepping down over this? Yeah, I think so. Do I think it's going to negatively impact this lawsuit? Personally, I don't think so. Okay, just a few more short excerpts here. Scientology's attorneys claim, given the above, the case law and equity do not permit the filing of a replacement brief. Scientology incurred substantial attorney's fees for its counsel to uncover and document all of the false citations, and we took extra time in doing so to double and triple check before leveling such a serious accusation against opposing counsel. Moreover, given that the proposed corrected brief significantly changes the cited cases and contains revisions on almost every page, it would prejudice Scientology in letting plaintiffs refine their arguments, having now seen Scientology's reply brief. Scientology is also incurring significant fees in opposing this motion and will incur even more if the replacement brief is allowed, and Scientology is then required to prepare a new reply brief to address the extensive new cited authority. It is interesting to see Scientology basically be like, Boy Schiller is asking for permission to file a correct version of their reply. But even if you allow this, it's going to be very, very expensive for us to then have to reply to that. Anyway, you almost wonder if it's in Boy Schiller's best interest to not try to get the court to accept their new reply brief and just be like, you know what? We don't need to reply. Let their appeal stand as is. We're good. Just pretend we never said anything. Anyway, I don't even know if that's an option at this point, but okay, a couple other quick little excerpts from this. Scientology's attorneys continue on. Legal argument 1, courts around the country are responding with increasingly severe sanctions to fake AI-generated citations used in court filings. I mean, it does make sense that the courts would want to make a little bit of an example out of Boy Schiller for this error. And up until now, at least to the best of my knowledge from everything I've seen, the coverage of what's happening here, I think $10,000 up until this point is the largest sanction that's ever been filed against an attorney or a firm for being caught using AI in their filings. I would be shocked if they only fined Boy Schiller $10,000 for what's happening here. But that's one of the reasons why Scientology is trying to make a big stink about it. It's like, no. They have to be made an example of here. Okay, and the last little nugget here says, conclusion, for all these reasons, the court should deny plaintiff's motion to file a corrected brief and impose sanctions as the court finds proper. And they are also asking for the attorneys of the firm to be disqualified, which I think means they can no longer represent the plaintiffs. Anyway, I'd be shocked if something like that happened. Okay, just short and sweet. Wanted to show you that Scientology is absolutely continuing to move forward with this. What do you guys think? What do you guys think the court is going to do against Boy Schiller in this case? How do you think it's going to affect the present, what is presently before the court, which is Scientology's appeal? And how do you guys think this is going to affect the underlying case? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. Got to go pick up the pizza from Costco. Then I'm going to head to downtown Clearwater. Come on out and join us, or just tune in and watch the stream. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not,